Cosplay cringe is extremely common across the internet. Maybe someone's costume is bad, or their movements are a bit too animated. Well, Phibz went viral for both, absolutely blowing up on the platform of TikTok around the beginning of 2026. But if what I'm showing you on screen right now was all she had done, we wouldn't be here today, because Phibz has been up to some awful stuff. And as usual, it all leads back to Discord. Phibz was seeing rapid growth on her TikTok page due to her cosplays and dances, being ridiculed and parodied by many people across the internet. But this was nothing in comparison to the hate that Phibz had coming their way. You see, like many other subjects of these kinds of videos, Phibz was an avid user of Discord. And with Phibz's increasing popularity on social media came more users to their Discord, which was completely unage restricted. And for those who don't know, that's usually a terrible sign. Everyone's fears would be proven right when a screenshot would be leaked between Phibz and a minor. You're so sweet. Thank you, LOL. It's a charm from my granny. This might sound weird, but are you single? Yeah, why? Well, I think you're really pretty. Phibz, I'm 14. Yeah, but like. This message chain was absolutely damning for Phibz. Before this, no one seemed to really dislike Phibz. They thought she was cringy, but not much else. But now it was open season, and even more people would come forward with allegations against her. And the initial response from Phibz is about what you'd expect.
Hey, so there's this screenshot going around, right? And it looks hella realistic. But I'm here to tell you that it's photoshopped. And for the people saying, oh, Photoshop can't look that clean. Yes, it can. So many popular people and so many people in general can go through this just from some really, really good editing. There's also a possibility that accounts can be faked, because my personal Discord account has a Pinterest banner and a Pinterest profile picture. So my account can easily be faked with that and, fonts and stuff like that. And people who know me will know that I've never done anything like that. And never will. Because that is disgusting. And now that's all I'm going to talk about for now. But just know, if you bring up the topic again, I am blocking you. Because it makes me very uncomfortable for people to be taking my name and dragging it through the dirt.
Of course, Phibz claimed that these screenshots were faked, but sadly, she's taken part in behavior like this before. Like I previously said, Phibz's Discord server had no age restrictions. In fact, it had age roles, meaning that Phibz and her mods are well aware of who's a kid and who's not, but none of them did anything to moderate. These Discord servers seem like absolute cesspools. Another major accusation against Phibz is her relationship with a fellow creator called Zayn. Phibz and Zayn knew each other for over 2 years, and he was heavily involved in her Discord servers. Well, it turns out that Zayn is an absolute sicko who preyed upon Phibz's community. Now, I'm not saying it's Phibz's fault that one of her friends turned out to be a sicko. What I am saying is that she didn't disavow them after she found out. Even after she found out that Zayn was up to some awful shit, she would continue to defend him. And there's some actual evidence to back this. This is a screenshot of a message that Phibz would eventually admit to sending. Do you mean the gotcha stuff or supporting CP? Because either of those two were in the past, and we do not judge people for stuff they did in the past. People can change, and people can grow. I don't like to give a lot of my opinions in these videos, but I will say I believe the exact opposite of what Phibz just said. I don't think people guilty of these types of crimes can change, and in my humble opinion, should be scrutinized and prosecuted way more than they already are. And when you see a post like this from Phibz, it makes you think she might have some skeletons in her closet herself, but that's because she does. In the past, Phibz was also accused of doing some stuff very similar to Zach. From what I can gather, Phibz was a part of an online cosplay group, and while a part of this group, she would have extremely inappropriate conversations with a 13-year-old, even claiming that they were dating. So it's not shocking that she's going to stick up for people that are guilty of extremely similar crimes. The floodgates were now open, and tons of accusations against Phibz were coming to light. Her own previous interactions with minors, her friendship and defense of Zayn, and now people were coming forward with some pretty shocking screenshots, ones that Phibz would actually admit to. Phibz would make a number of posts encouraging NSFW content on the server, as well as encouraging people to hurt themselves. Keep in mind that Phibz got a lot of her audience from TikTok, particularly the cosplaying community, so many of these people that were seeing these messages were children, and this would become another massive point of controversy for Phibz. The controversy would get so large that she eventually had to address it in a very poorly made apology video that was soon deleted. It starts off with her giving a half-hearted apology and sort of denouncing Zayn, but not really.
Hi, I'm here to talk about some new allegations that popped up and a new thing that also popped up recently. But also, before I get into that, I want to make a few statements. 1. I'm no longer friends with Zayn. That whole situation was a mess, and I wasn't correct at the time, and I'm sorry for that, and I humbly do apologize, and I don't support any of their other actions or any of the actions they did do, and I'm sorry that I supported that ever. I had no, my head doesn't know the full context of certain things sometimes, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm truly sorry for that, and I'm trying to work on it. Again, I am still learning some things, especially when it comes down to being famous.
A quick recap of the Zayn situation would be that he was exposed for some terrible crap involving kids. Phibz knew about this and defended him, as well as kept him in her Discord server full of children. Phibz says that she doesn't support any of their actions, but she literally did, allowing even more members of her community to be preyed upon by Zayn, who was only kicked out after doxing a member in rage. Phibz may not claim to know the whole context of the situation, but she had a pretty good grasp on it. The message I previously showed you is all the proof you need. She knew about both of Zayn's crimes, and claimed it was all in the past. I also love that she low-key blames all of this on being famous, and not on being an internet predator. To me, it just goes to show that she really doesn't mean her apology, and what she says next proves it, giving a million different excuses for why all of this happened, along with a seemingly unknown admission of guilt.
There's a lot going on. It's hard for me to explain sometimes. Especially because, with the new haters and new fans and all that, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of pressure, and I really don't do well under said pressure. I also want to remind everyone that I'm going to therapy, and I talk about these things in therapy. So I just want to say that, and if I did anything in the past or made some past actions, that I do highly regret them, and I always try to talk about it in therapy, but I also try not to talk about it too much here, because that's nothing for you guys to deal with.
For the things I might have done in the past, I do apologize for it, but I'm not going to talk about it here because that's just none of you guys' business. To me, the last 10 seconds of that video are pretty damning. She knows that she's done something wrong, at least in the eyes of others, but the only thing that seems to be bothering her is the backlash. In this video, Phibz is full of excuses, and surprisingly, admissions. Phibz would admit that the screenshots of her encouraging people to hurt themselves on Discord were real, but plays it off as something that she just did because everyone else was.
Okay, now on to the allegations. So I can't show the actual photo directly because I don't know why the green screen won't let me. But basically it's a screenshot saying that of me saying that so two things first. That I want to carve into someone and kiss the scars, and I want to carve someone's initials onto my body. I'm very ashamed I ever said that because, first of all, people are very sensitive to stuff like SH and all that, and I was not in the right headspace at the time. And it doesn't excuse my behavior, but I do also want to bring up that in that chat that they were, like, talking about, everyone in that chat was talking about that sort of thing, but also doesn't excuse any action of it. So the third part of that screenshot said that, I'm going to, do something. I can't say it directly because it does make me semi-uncomfortable to say that in front of millions of people, but, because it's different when it's, like, jokingly with your friends or whatnot, saying that sort of thing, but for people you don't know, it's just strange.
What's even more disturbing to me is that Phibz seems to romanticize this stuff. It's already disturbing enough, but then add in the fact she was in a Discord server full of kids, and it's so much worse. I don't think people can fathom just how many people have been eternally corrupted by Discord and the people they've met on it. Not just adults, but children who have been corrupted by people who use Discord as a hunting ground. People like Zayn, people like Nova, and people like Phibz. All are guilty, and all give the same excuses when confronted on their behavior. Phibz's apology video is a prime example of this, especially the next clip. Phibz would briefly discuss the Discord screenshots between her and a 14-year-old, and also admit that one of her mods might have been a minor, and that was the reason she couldn't make the server 18 and up.
But basically saying, like, making a suggestive joke and aiming it towards someone who was supposedly a minor. So, to explain that, at the time, I didn't know Francie was a minor, either because A, I didn't look at their roles, which was pretty ignorant of me, or B, I just didn't know, or they didn't have the proper age roles. Again, I'm not that kind of person at all. If I knew that person's age at the time, I wouldn't have said it. But also with that, I also do admit that that sort of thing should be, like, kept with DMs and kept in, like, people you actually know are, like, 18 and up. And I do better at that nowadays, but also to some degree I make mistakes, as you know, with my server. I had underage people in there, and that was not right of me. I do want to bring up, though, that in the second server, I didn't want to make it below 18 and up, but one of my mods did it anyways, which I'm assuming is due to a situation where, like, my mods needed help, and for some reason they suggested Vincer be a mod in that server, which I don't really know why, because at the time I didn't trust them, but, you know, I said yes, but not to all, like, people below 18 and up. I only allowed Vincer in that server to help that server with moderation stuff.
I'm not 100% sure, but what I think she's trying to say is that one of the mods was a minor, and that was the reason they couldn't make it 18 and up, because she didn't have enough mods and she needed more help. So one of these mods brought in a kid. That's just my personal theory. It's not confirmed, but the way that she worded all that makes it sound like that's the case. We know that there were many minors in her Discord server, so it wouldn't shock me at all if one of them was a mod. This is just another to add to the growing list of stuff Phibz has been accused of, and this is why they've faced so much scrutiny in recent times. I don't even think Phibz would have made this apology video if the criticism wasn't so intense, because the apology video quickly turns into a way for her to lambaste the trolls.
But I'm getting a little off topic here. So with that, I'm trying to work on my actions, and I'm sorry whoever got hurt in that situation. There's also another thing I want to talk about today, and no, it's not the YouTube video. I'm not addressing that video at all. I'm not even gonna look at that video because, again, I'm not dealing with any extra shit. But however, there was another situation brought up to me a few days, I want to say 2 days ago. One of my, I wouldn't say mutuals, we're more like acquaintances right now. Juno brought up to me that they were invited to this group chat with this other guy. So what he said was he was gonna follow me around in real life and take pictures of me and start a live stream and find me and do the live stream with me. Yeah, I'm not okay with that. And if I see you trying to record me in real life, I'm going straight to the office and reporting to the assistant principal. Because that kind of thing is not okay. You shouldn't film people without their consent, and you should not do anything to anyone without their explicit consent. God, this video is getting kind of long. I'm gonna have to cut it here, but I am making a follow-up video.
Phibz is only making her situation worse by feeding into the trolls. To my knowledge, very little of her personal information is known, so I don't know how someone would follow her around and film her. I think this is just a way to make her look more sympathetic, by zeroing in on the people who are legitimately harassing her, and not just criticizing her. I forget the particular term, but Andy would call it cherry picking. Regardless, it's not gonna help one bit. Every time I've seen a subject of the video ask their detractors to leave them or their family members alone, it has the exact opposite effect.
Okay, so here's the follow-up. Stop sending death threats to my mother about me. This one I'm actually very pissed about. Now I want you to think about this for a second. What kind of mother wants to hear that about their kid? Like, this is fucking sick, and it's not okay. You should not send death threats to anyone. Like, what do you think that's gonna do? Fix the situation? Like, no, it's not gonna fix the situation. If anything, it's gonna escalate it further. Also, another thing, stop sending death threats to my community for them supporting me. I don't know how I'm supposed to get through anyone's head, but this is not okay. Sending death threats to people, telling them to kill themselves is not okay. Point blank, period. Like, I'm fine if you send me directly threats, because I can just ignore that shit. But don't go after my fans and my family. Like, this is not their fight. This is between us. But also, you should not be sending death threats, point blank, period. That's it. It's just not okay, and I'm so upset about it, and it's so ridiculous.
Once again, I think this is all an attempt from Phibz to make herself look like the victim. Oh, poor me, look at how the trolls are harassing my family. But when the shoe was on the other foot, Phibz didn't seem to care, when she was encouraging people on Discord to do horrible stuff. In my personal opinion, she seems to be very selfish. only showing real emotion in situations that pertain to her. There's a lot of claims of empathy, but she just doesn't seem like she cares. In every one of her apologies, she just seems fed up, mad that she has to be talking about all this again, but all the time trying to paint herself as the victim.
I'm unprivating my account, but I'm also going back on break after this. Because again, I'm not sure if any of you saw my status, but I'm going on break because I need some space for my mental health. But yeah, I'm also unprivating my account, but I'm also going back on break after this. I just wanted to address this. All because, yeah, but yeah, the reason why I'm on break right now is because I need to get my mental health together. And I'm going to start doing that. I may post like once or twice. We'll see how this break goes. For now, I'm just gonna make it 1 week. But yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, bye.
Phibz would do the exact opposite of what they just said, privating their account and going on no real kind of break, blocking anyone who brings up the allegations in her newfound hug box, which Phibz rarely ventures out of, so we haven't heard her discuss much about the allegations outside of that apology video I just broke up for you. But there was an interview recently. The original post seems to now be deleted, so I could only find it on YouTube. Shout out to McGrubba for that, because this interview is yet another damning piece of information against Phibz. I don't know the exact context of how they got the interview, but two individuals were in a Discord call with Phibz and began to grill her on the recent accusations.
You do understand how harmful this is, and it's just like,
Yeah,
you
I would
also
never do that. I would never do that recently, and like I said, I do not condone my past actions. And I'm sorry for that. And I will make a public apology on that when I'm ready.
Yeah, but the thing is, 6 months ago wasn't that far away, Phibz. That's still like really recent.
So can I explain what was going on that 6 months?
Yeah.
A lot of things had happened in that 6 months. Again, I'm not excusing my behavior, I'm explaining it. I was not in therapy 6 months ago. I wasn't healing 6 months ago. I was doing a lot of bad actions. I was cutting myself. I was doing drugs. I did a lot of bad, shitty things. But then my mom figured out what I was doing, and she was all like, oh, hell no, we're getting you into therapy. We're getting this fixed. We're not doing this. And I'm sorry that I did that 6 months ago, and I will make a public apology on that, and I'll take accountability for it.
You could have influenced them. Yeah.
And I'm sorry for that. But again, there's nothing I can do about that. You can continue to talk about that. Others can continue to talk about that. But there's really nothing I can do but say sorry and change my actions in the future.
Accountability is needed.
I'm not trying to move on. I'm trying to keep that, but also not let it hold me back from what I have achieved.
I know that you achieved a lot. It's just the thing is, like, even after the apology videos, I feel like you just start, you obviously do your, like, normal content again, but, people need to see, like, it doesn't feel like you're actually sorry for this stuff, because the amount of apologies you did for your...
How else am I supposed to prove that? You want me to take a break from TikTok? Because I've been trying to take multiple breaks from TikTok. If you haven't noticed, I have only been posting about 5 times a day. I would have posted more if I knew this situation wasn't serious. The only reason why I keep posting on TikTok is because I need something to do with my life, or else I will go ballistic, because I do not like being bored.
I personally hate the defense of, I'm healing now, so what I did in the past is all okay. I can understand if maybe you're a major drug addict or a psychopath off his meds. She's really just using therapy as a shield. It should be the behavior changes from therapy that people commend. Instead, she expects to be praised for just showing up. In this situation, I find it to be a terrible defense, almost as bad as her half-assed apology. Like I said just a couple minutes ago, she seems almost annoyed that she has to apologize, and it makes many people believe that her apology is disingenuous, especially when she's so adamant that she will not continue to apologize, because she already has, and the situation should be over with.
You just kind of avoid stuff. Like, I don't want to explain this, but
I have apologized. Here's the difference. I block and ignore those who are disrespectful about it. The moment you show me disrespect is the moment I shut down and block you. So if you come to me in a respectful, civilized manner, like we are talking right now, then we're good. But if, for example, you're being disrespectful, or if you're repeating things that I've already heard and already have addressed multiple times, then I'm just going to be done with it and block you. Because I've already addressed it, and I've already apologized for it, and I can't just keep making videos, because the more videos I make on this, the more it's just going to become my entire account, and that's not what I want. I don't want my entire account to be negativity. I want some positives in there.
I understand that. The breaks that you have last about, like, I guess 2 days max. Even with your, like,
alive, because let me explain to you, because I don't have better things to do. I can't just, I'm gonna ignore this and delete TikTok or whatever and whatnot. I can't just do that, because there is a fan base that requires me to post daily. B, my whole boredom thing, where if I get too bored, I will not be okay.
I get that.
I want my community to be safe and to be positive.
You're dancing and you're saying, like,
but there's nothing I can do about it. I don't think you're understanding that. I can apologize. I can take accountability. There's nothing I can do for my past actions. I can't just, go back to the past and change what I did.
I understand that.
I don't know what else you want me to do. I'm not just about to take a whole ass 3-month break from TikTok, or I'm not gonna just quit TikTok.
If the accusations levied against her weren't as severe, it'd be understandable only wanting to apologize once. But this is the kind of stuff that she'll have to defend herself against till the last day she spends on social media. There's a very popular saying online, the internet doesn't forget, so I really doubt that Phibz will ever be able to return to her normal TikTok posting, even if she posted an apology video every day. So I guess in that way, I understand her not wanting to apologize, but from her point of view, it's because she's already done enough. Not that it wouldn't have any effect. I also love that leaving TikTok is completely off the table. She's hardly even willing to discuss it, and it's not for financial reasons like Nova. It's because she says this is her hobby, and she wouldn't know what to do with herself without it. When posting 5 times a day is taking it light, you might have a social media problem. In the case of Phibz, I think she sees this as her only means of communication with the outside world, her only means of socialization, so it's completely unthinkable to give it all up. It was almost inevitable that Phibz would get exposed for something, because she's not only just been accused of some creepy stuff towards kids. Another big problem that people have with her is some of her more racially motivated posts. I couldn't find the exact TikTok that they're about to speak of, but from what I can tell, Phibz made a negative post involving some kind of slavery. This post went over so bad that her mom made her delete the content.
I know you also deleted your slave and what was it? I forgot the other one.
And I already made a video on that too. I already apologized for it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you deleted that and it's gone. And
yeah, I deleted it because it was offensive.
No, I mean you deleted your apology video.
But where? When?
The slave apology video. You deleted it, didn't you?
Oh, I understand why. Because my mom told me to. There's nothing I can do about that. My mom told me to delete that video because the more people look on that, the more they're gonna take that in and take, because mind you, because a lot more people see my content than what the haters' content is, or whoever is addressing these allegations. My mom told me, and like literally told me to delete that, or else my phone was getting taken away, because that doesn't define who I am. My past actions do not define who I am, right?
I highly suspect that this is a troll that was pulled on Phibz. She seems to play into a lot of her detractors' plans, and this isn't the only time that she's been accused of racism, but all of that pales in comparison to what she's been accused of regarding kids. Phibz would have you believe that the internet is mad at her for faked screenshots, when even if you took the screenshots out of the equation, she's done enough to be worthy of criticism. This unage-restricted Discord server screams Nova, and I'd be lying if I said she didn't remind me of him, but she also reminds me of a lesser-known person I've covered, Donnie Mayo. Donnie blew up on TikTok for cosplaying and making it cringe, but was exposed for similar things and hasn't been seen since. The main difference is I don't think Phibz will leave. Despite everything that's been happening, Phibz has been posting constantly. Her account may currently be private, but I doubt that will last. And I also don't think this is the last time we've heard of Phibz. This seems to be a rabbit hole that only deepens every day. And now with more eyes than ever on the situation, everything's gonna come to light.